and welcome to another stream of Tomb Raider Anniversary for my annual 2026 playthrough, doing a classic challenge, trying as much as possible with the game engine to make it feel like the older games in the series, restricting certain movements and things like that. Hey there, Not Fry! How's things going? Welcome. Good morning, Octavius. I'm doing well, thank you. Things are going good. How about yourself? So for movement, Lara can go forward when facing that way, but can't go left, right, or down when facing forward. To move left, right, or down, Lara must stop, then the camera move to face the way. So if I want Lara, if she's facing ahead, to go left, I have to first move the camera to look left, and then move her in that direction. Same for right and down as well. Manual grab is enabled, so like the older games than this one, have to make sure I hold down the button after pressing the button to grab, and quick shimmy and climb is banned. So in the older games than this one, you couldn't actually climb or shimmy faster than the speed that they had Lara go at. Even though the shimmy speed and the climbing speed, even when you're not doing the quick version, is actually quicker than the old version, it's the best I could do to simulate the slower shimmy and climb. The grapple is banned unless required, so if there's another way to get around something or across something, then I can use that alternate method. But if I absolutely have to use a grapple to get across a gap, then we can. Adrenaline dodge is banned, unless required. So far I haven't hit a point yet where the game won't give me the ability to get past an area without using adrenaline dodge. Even the T-Rex fight, which took a while, but I found a sweet spot where I could just have Lara stand and keep shooting and shooting and shooting, and the T-Rex couldn't even attack her. And so that helped get rid of him. But there's other boss fights in this game, of course, so I don't know yet how they will go, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. When using health, instead of using the shortcuts, have to actually go into the inventory just like you do in the old games. Now, having said that, there are shortcut keys in the old games to actually do stuff, but just to make it more mechanical and a bit more sort of like quote-unquote slower of a process, I need to actually go into the inventory and then select the health kit and then press the use button for it. And the hint icons are off as well. So that means any prompts that let you know if Lara's losing her balance. So you have to keep an eye on the animation that she's doing. And if she starts to do the animation where she's losing her grip, then that's when you know that you need to press the Y button, or it would be the triangle button on PlayStation. This is the Xbox 360 version. Nice to hear that things are going good, Not Fry. AC2, excellent. Such a great game, that one. Glad to hear that you're going good, Octavius. That is really good, dude. We are up to, if I go to level select, in order to have the classic character model of Lara, I need to actually go through level select on my already finished save, because those things are unlocked by finishing the game, and so I wanted to be able to do the levels with that character model. So it means we go into each level to replay it. And so we've done the Peru levels, and we've done the first Greece level. My goal in this stream is to do the Colosseum, Midas' Palace, and Tomb of Tehocan. And normally on Tuesdays I do a split stream, but I'm just going to do this stream today. I only really feel like doing one stream instead of two, so there won't be a later stream. So if I can get these Greece levels done, that means next stream on my Wednesday I can potentially get the rest of the game done, which there's 6 levels left after the Greece ones are done. Hey there, Maxi, good day to you as well, dude. It's going really well. Got a few levels already done. This challenge has been interesting. It's the classic sort of thing of fighting against your instinct, your muscle memory, and your reflexes to not do things that you normally don't think about not doing, because they're normally part of it. So that's been interesting. Trying to emulate some things from the even older games than this one. It's so funny, of course, have to call these old games too, and differentiate the older games between the old games from the newer games, which aren't that new anymore. Considering the last game was 2018 and we're 2 years away from 2028, and 2013 is a long time ago now. How's things going with you, dude? Soda, thank you very, very much for the 290 stream streak. That is great, Soda. Thank you very, very much. I hope things are going well. Nofra, you like this game very much. Your worst Italian accent? Yeah, I'm not really good at doing an Italian accent. I mean, I can do an exaggerated Mario accent, but that's because the character themselves. But if I try to do like a very serious one, it sounds like I'm trying to be Ezio, which I think Ezio's Italian is more like Spanish. Maxi, you can feel that, especially how we normally play this game. That is true, Maxi, you know, and like having manual grab on in a game where you don't have to normally worry about it, whereas the older games you do, and when playing those older games, it's just natural to remember that you have to. But when you get to these games, with the auto grab, you train your brain to not worry about that. So in this playthrough, I have to actually worry about that with this game. Things are good, thanks dude, you're on your way to work. Excellent to hear, Maxi. I really hope that you have a good day today, and I hope that it goes quick for you too. And looking forward to seeing you do another stream of Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's cool that you've gone on the journey into Raccoon City Police Department. Joining Leon in his very first day. I mean, what a first day to have at a job. Zombie outbreak. Well, at least you don't have to stay at work, I guess, but, you know, you got the zombies and everything else to deal with. Mr. X as well. I mean, what would you rather deal with? A boss at your work or Mr. X? It'd be like, yeah, even the worst boss, you'd probably rather have to deal with them than Mr. X trying to hunt you down. That's all good, Maxi. No worries, dude. Soda, doing good. I hope you're well too. That is excellent, Soda. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I'm going good too. Plodding along with my Tomb Raider playthroughs. Going to be finishing this game this week, and then next week I can finish Legend in one stream, because that's a shorter game. So we'll see how we go. But potentially getting through the rest of this trilogy next week, and starting the 2013 reboot trilogy. Not afraid you choose Mr. X. I mean, that's fair, you know. Maxi, yeah, you're enjoying it so far, seeing Leon in Resident Evil games a lot. You forgot he was one time a novice. That is true, you know, like, and for a game as well where the characters from the first don't return, and having the new characters actually really become legendary as well, you know, it's good to see when that happens with games. Not right now, Mr. X had you shook, chasing you all around the RPD. Oh yeah, when you hear the footsteps of Mr. X, and you're like, shit, which direction is Mr. X coming from? Which floor is he on, you know? Maxi, but having Mr. X constantly lurking around is scary enough. He got used to the zombies already, but the game is like, nah, you can't choose to relax. Yeah, Maxi, you know what the crazy thing is? In the original Resident Evil 2, he's always scripted to appear when he does, but in the remake, there's that, but also random appearances too. So not every time you see him is scripted. It's actually randomly generated for him to appear. So that keeps players on their toes. Nofra, it really is nerve-wracking hearing his thumping footsteps. Oh yeah, you know, very distinctive sound as well. Like, that's another game that has some really good sound design in it. Nofra, you always feel like you're ready for him to pop up, but it still scares you every time, just about. Because I think sometimes too, your attention is drawn to whatever you're currently doing objective-wise and where you are, and you start to sort of like dread going around every corner, because even though normally his sounds happen, it puts you on edge. I also can't fast swim as well. Nofry, very true. But hey bro, you're gonna keep you tabbed in the background while you play some more AC2. You just finished the Carnival sequence. That's great progress, Nofry, with that game. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the lurking and keeping the tab open. Muchly appreciated. Hope that you enjoy some more AC2. Lara Croft versus Donkey Kong. Round 1. Fight! Lara wins. Fatality. No worries, not Fry. See you when you get back.
Let our pick up the pace.
Thank you very much, Stranger Red, for the follow. Thank you. Hey there, Pete. Good afternoon. I hope it's going well. Hey there, Ryu. I hope things are going well. I see we are fighting the whole jungle tonight. Absolutely. Lara's fighting off Donkey Kong and and Tigger and all that kind of stuff. Hey there, Neo. Good morning to you. I hope things are going well. Alright, so there's no way to get up to there where that crate is without using the grapple, so we can use the grapple. So like in the older games than this one, when it comes to pushing crates, even though in this game Lara can actually spin the crates around and change direction more smoothly, in the older games than this one, she can only move forward or pull the block backwards. If she wanted to move the block to the right, for example, she'd have to go around to the left side of it and then grab it and then push it in that direction. So I need to simulate that in this playthrough for this challenge. So there might be a slight angling that Lara does it, but that's okay. As long as when I'm moving it from left to right, I'm actually repositioning Lara first. Neo Anniversary? Well, you played that game years ago. Oh yeah. What's crazy is next year it'll be celebrating its 20th, which is also for Assassin's Creed, Uncharted. In terms of games, the Witcher series. First game came out in 2007. Mass Effect. So it's going to be a big year next year for massive franchises celebrating their 20th. Hey there, Altair. It's going well, thank you. Playing through the remake of Tomb Raider 1, but it's also a prequel to Tomb Raider Legend, which actually came out before this one. So it's a bit like Red Dead Redemption 1 versus 2, where 2 is actually the prequel. How's things going with you? So it's impossible not to have any kind of turn, especially when you need to push it, and I'm pushing it forward, but it's also sliding in a different direction on its own. But we did it without the grapple, which I didn't know was a thing. I thought that the only way to do it was with the grapple. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to push it over to where the key is. The funny thing is, you would never get a situation where a crate is actually on an angle like this in the older games than this one. But the same principle still applies for this challenge, where I have to get around to the other side of it if I want to move it in a different direction. Hey Strangerette, Legend was your childhood favourite, but Angel of Darkness was a fever dream, you can't remember it. Oh really, Strangerette? Yeah, that's an interesting feeling it can be when that happens with stuff. There's probably a lot of things that it's the same for me with. Legend was such a great game. I really enjoyed it a lot, and in terms of like the series, even though it's short, I think it doesn't overstay its welcome. Altair, you're okay, working now but tired, bad night. Oh, was it, Altair? That sucks that you had a bad night. I hope that the next night is going to be better for you. Something else that can't be helped for this challenge is when the camera is programmed to automatically move to show you something in the environment. So this is Lara's slowest shimmy speed in this game. Even though in the original games the shimmy speed is slower than this, in those games there's no quick shimmy or quick climb or quick swim like there is in this game. So for the challenge rule, even though it's not the same speed as in the old games, I still have to just stick to the normal shimmy and climbing speed that Lara does. So can't do this the even faster version. And that's another example of where my muscle memory wanted to let go of the grab button, because normally I play with auto grab on, where I don't have to worry about that with the older games than this one, because it's naturally that way. There's no reasoning in the older games to just press the button, or to not have Lara, you know, because Lara will not auto grab in the older games. What the hell? Plus also, when I want to move Lara to a different direction, I have to move the camera first. Even though it's faster than the pivot was in the older games, this was the best kind of way I could think to slow things down just a fraction, so that it's not simply just, you know, move Lara left and she'll go all the way left. The remasters of the first 6 games, you can switch to what they call modern controls, but they're really just the controls from these games. So they're not really modern necessarily. They're from Tomb Raider Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld, respectively 2006 to 2008. Neo, Tomb Raider Catalyst was delayed for 2028. That is true, Neo, yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen since the Legacy of Atlantis was also pushed back. That was originally going to come out this year, but now it's coming out next year. So there's no way to get across all this without using the grapple, so we can use the grapple in this playthrough for this part. I forgot, since this is since I have to do mission replay to be able to select what outfit I have Lara wear, i.e. the 1996 character model. I need to do replay mission for every level. But I've already got like all the weapons unlocked. Ooh, that was close. What was frustrating there is the camera was automatically moving while I was trying to line up the jump. Great. Most likely we're going to create a new checkpoint. I was hoping Lara would actually die from that. Let's see. Need to see if I can do a dive that will kill Lara so we can get the checkpoint that is higher up. No, she'll dive into the roll from that angle. Because most likely we're going to trigger a checkpoint again. No, she landed in a fucking roll. This is why it's stupid that you can't just save whenever you fucking want in the console version of this. You can save the rewards that you've collected, but you can't save your actual progress within the level. So essentially I've got no way of killing Lara without triggering a new checkpoint further away from where I actually need to friggin' go. All because they didn't want to give the player the option to save when they want and load from that spot, just like in the previous games. Strangerette, they're making us wait for a whole decade since Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That is true, Strangerette, yeah. It'll definitely be a long wait by the time that game comes out. Okay, so there's nothing here that I can kill Lara with either. This is so frustrating. And the thing about it is, this is on purpose that they did it. Like, there's no other reason. They were laughing around their table going, ha, we'll make it so that the player can't save when they want and load that save. If they fuck up, we'll force them to have to trigger an old checkpoint so they lose their progress in the level in terms of how far away they are from what they were at before they fucked up. and we won't let them actually reload a save to before they fucked up. Okay, Lara, now just die from this fall. No, I don't want you to survive. Oh, jeez, I don't know. What I'm going to do is try to just jump and land and not worry about diving. We're going to have to do that 500 times because the amount of health that Lara loses from that height is not great enough to be able to do it quicker. But hey, at least we won't be re-triggering a new checkpoint, which then would mean losing all the literal steps progress that Lara had made. Okay, she didn't even take any damage that time. A new challenge idea for this game. Speedrun how long it takes for you to kill Lara without having anything that is a quick death. Strangerette, somehow when you do fall in an accident, the health bar ends in an instant. That is true. When you actually want the character to die, it takes years. But when you don't, the character's dead instantly. Makes me wonder if they've made it that you can't fully die. I guess depending on how much health you have when you initially get stuck in this spot. Well, maybe it would help if I actually jumped off the higher point. That's better. Almost dead. It'll probably take 2 more, I reckon. Even though it looks like 1 might do it, I reckon 2 will do it. So for those who might be joining, in this game, with the checkpoint system, let's say you're on a really high level and you create a checkpoint. If you fall but don't die, you can potentially re-trigger earlier checkpoints again. So you then lose all the progress that you made in terms of like how much ground you've covered as Lara. And so, to avoid creating a new checkpoint, I've had to find a spot to have Lara die, but the other options weren't available, like getting killed by enemies or things like that. Alright, so this should do it. Or not. Okay, so it's going to take 3. Alright. I probably, spent 10 minutes on doing this. Alright, let's do a fancy one. There we go. May as well make a spectacle of it. Okay, so now, because we didn't trigger an earlier checkpoint again, now we can be back up here. Now we're back in this predicament again. Jesus Christ. What's throwing me off is the automatic camera moving that is programmed. I'm trying to keep the camera where I want it to help me orient where I need Lara to be, to jump in the way that I need to for this challenge, and the camera keeps automatically changing to a different position. This is so fucking ridiculous. Like, seriously. I know, I'm complaining about a game that came out almost 20 years ago. What are they going to do? Patch it just for me? I don't think so. But if they do remaster these games, please, for the love of everything holy, don't reuse the same kind of friggin' system. Let the player just save whenever they want. Not just save their reward progress through a level, but actually save their actual position and what they've done in the level. Just like the earlier games. To avoid things like this. Also, deactivate the previous checkpoints from triggering again. So if the player does need to actually kill themselves, they can at least do it in a quicker way, without having to worry that they're going to lose all the progression of the character's feet in the game world. At this point, I'm just willing to, like, go back to the menu and then just go into level select again and just do it from the start, because I may as well. The amount of time it's fucking taking to get to this spot, may as well just do this and start the whole fucking level all over again. All because of this stupid checkpoint system. So just to sort of like talk through it, this is me changing the camera, right? This is in the game automatically doing it. Now I'm putting the camera there. Now watch what happens when I simply move Lara forward. The camera moves with her, right? So that's good. But in this playthrough, I need to stop and then move the camera to a different direction. So if we go back behind Lara, the camera will behave like that. So if we do this, that camera movement there, the game did it automatically. Same with that camera movement as Lara got up. This is me changing the camera movement now. That's me changing it now. That's the game automatically changing it then. This is me changing it now. I won't do this every step of the way, but yeah, that's just basically it. So when I'm trying to actually do those things and the game's deciding to move the camera on me, it just makes it even more annoying. I can't do the swim faster, so we have to sacrifice some health. Of course. Can't grab to the actual top of that. Well, I can say one thing. This challenge definitely makes the playthrough longer. When I'm doing Tomb Raider Legend and Underworld in this annual series run, I won't be doing this challenge for those games. I just wanted to do it for this game because it's the remake of Tomb Raider 1. It's so funny, you know, like, with remasters and remakes and redos and rebirths and reimaginations and reimaginings and reimaginings and all this kind of stuff. After a while, it sort of gets like, you know, if you have a printer and you just keep on printing over and over again, eventually the ink starts to fade, and then you start to have like ghost versions of what you're putting on there, you know. And after a while, it's like, where does it end? Remaster upon remaster upon remake upon remake of remasters. Hey there, Inmeter. I'm doing well, thank you, dude. Having some frustrations though because the checkpoint system. There was a tricky slide and then jump that I had to do, and I messed it up, and it put Lara into a spot where there's no way to have her die quick. So I had to jump off this height and do a little bit of damage every time to then finally get her to die, to then only fuck up again. And then I decided to just restart the damn level. And it's all because the game automatically likes to also move the camera where it wants the camera to be. And because in this playthrough I have to be very, very careful with Lara's movements, it means I have to be very, very careful with where I put the camera. And so with me having to fight the game for where the camera is, it means that it sort of like is disorienting when it comes to the slide down the slope and the jump that I need to perform. So, very tricky. Aside from that though, Doing really well. I don't actually have to do that again, that's right, because I restarted the level. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I wouldn't necessarily have to worry about it too much in a regular playthrough of it. Like that whole camera thing there, that was the game moving that the whole time. And even then now, you know, it's like, yes game, I get it. That's where I need to go. Alright, thank you. Can you stop moving the camera every damn time to reiterate where I need to go? It's... Cheers in meter, thank you dude. Damn, if you can imagine. Yeah, it's just so frustrating. It's like these things. I know it's a game that came out almost 20 years ago, but still, it's good for future reference of, you know, when people make games. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with allowing the player to have the option for the game to point things out to them if they need it, you know. But there's a limit where patience can be pushed too much. Yeah, and me to the game is trying to be helpful. It's like that meme with the dog where the dog's like, I help, and the dog's blocking the door that the person's trying to get into or something like that. I can't actually remember what the image is in the in the meme, but yeah, same kind of thing. It's like, I appreciate your help, but standing in the doorway does not actually help. Or I appreciate your help, but knocking things over when I'm trying to build them is not helping. Unless the objective is to demolish stuff. It was great to see you start Alan Wake 2 in Meta. It's so interesting, the title. Alan Wake 2. Not that there's any vocals for it, but just the way the text is filling the entire screen, and you know, big sort of like epic stamping of the title on the screen. Yeah, me too. Mulligan and Thornton, they're a funny pair. Like that guy, I can't remember, I think Thornton, no wait, I can't remember which is which now. The skinny one, I can't remember if he's Thornton or Mulligan. But yeah, his like the when Agent Casey is like, you know, about the UFOs, about the FBI. Anything goes, like, believe in him. That stuff's real? I can't really do his accent. Okay, so we need to use the grapple for that one. Yeah, Mitch's like, are you guys hiring? It's like, yeah, it'll just be like in the X-Files show. Be a regular Mulder and Scully. Okay, so I can't help but there be a little bit of the crate actually curving around corners and stuff. You can actually do this without using the grapple, but it's just a matter of getting the crate in the right position. In Meta, it was also nice seeing Sean Ashmore again as the sheriff. It was in Meta, it really is, dude. Especially too, considering you finished Quantum Break before starting Alan Wake 2. Having 2 Remedy games back to back with him in it. And me too, you were like, did you give up time control to become a sheriff? Yeah, he wanted to have a break from it. I hope he does more video games actually, because I think him as Conrad in Man of Medan, Jack in Quantum Break, and Sheriff Tim Breaker in Alan Wake 2 does a great job. But I feel like Quantum Break is a little underrated, I feel. And I can understand if some people don't like the idea that when you finish a mission, well, not a mission, but when you finish a chapter in the game, if you want to get more context for what you're going to see in the next level, you have to watch an episode of a live action series. Personally, I didn't mind that, but not everyone has the time to watch episodes and do the playing of the video game as well. So if anyone hasn't played Quantum Break before, if you don't really feel like watching the episodes in between, it's probably best just to watch. I don't know if there's like a summary video on YouTube, but the tricky thing is there's different versions that you'll see depending on what choices you make, so that might make it a bit tricky to see a sort of like video compilation about it. And me too, you agree, it's a really great concept. Yeah, I quite like it, you know. And the thing about that too is there's been various ways that games have tried to incorporate live action elements, even, you know, decades before it was being done in games like Remedies. Just in, you know, very sort of like, you know, archaic ways. Like you look at Pit Fighter and like early Mortal Kombat, for example. The fact that they actually filmed real people and then they digitized them, you know. Then you get those games where it's like an interactive movie, which they did a lot of that when like the Sega CD was a thing and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so the camera automatically moved that there, and it keeps showing me that. It's like, look, I get it, I already know, you don't have to keep showing me game. In some ways, like Quantum Break, I'd probably describe it as Max Payne but with time travel powers and a time travel story. No camera. Let me put you where I want you. You know, the funny thing is, the camera only bothers me in Tomb Raider Underworld because in that game, the way it interferes is more intrusive than how it interferes when I'm playing this game with these challenge rules. So when I normally play this game, it doesn't annoy in the same way that Underworld does with the camera, but it's only doing so with this challenge because I have to be very mindful of where I put the camera. Okay, so this was the checkpoint that we had made before. Hey there, Shin. How's things? You cannot wait for the Max Payne remakes. Yeah, I wonder how long it's going to be before they're released or finished. Here's another example where the game is like, the camera wants to show you that. And it's like, thank you for showing me that. Can I now move the camera, please? Okay, so this jump is coming up. That's been causing me grief in this level. Okay, so I'm going to bypass sliding down there, and I'm just going to run and jump and hope for the best. So the camera just moved like that. It's like, fine camera, you move that way. As long as I get across. That's the main thing. Okay, a new checkpoint would be great, please. Thank you, game. Alright. In Meta, many people don't consider it as part of the connected universe. You get it. It doesn't look a lot like it is part of it, but if you pay close attention, you understand that it belongs to the same universe. The objects moving just like in Alan Wake 1, Alan appearing in a video, etc. Yeah, dude, and that's the thing, because at the time, Alan Wake was also a Microsoft exclusive. So it made sense that they would be in the same universe. It's only now that they've done Control and Alan Wake 2, because it's, you know, owned by someone else, Quantum Break, that's the only reason why currently it's not in the same universe. So it can be a bit tricky trying to explain that too as well. But there's definitely a bridging between Alan Wake and Control with Quantum Break, because there's several things in Quantum Break that are referencing what will eventually be in Control, you know. So it just goes to show that they've always been thinking of ideas, and it makes sense that they could do that. Because let's give an example. Let's say you want to do a story set on a Tuesday. Now you can come up with a story that's set on a Tuesday. That doesn't mean you can't come up with a story that's set on a Tuesday 5 years from that point, right? You may not end up doing a game that takes place on that Tuesday 5 years later, but you can still start to think about ideas for that. And then when you get to the next game, you might be like, right, we won't set it 5 years after the last game, but I'll use some of the ideas that we already came up with and put them in, you know. So that's why it can make sense as to the references to Control that are in Quantum Break, even though Control hadn't been made yet. Shin, did you ever get the skeleton crew in Assassin's Creed 4? I did at one point, Shin, yeah. I think with all the cheats that you can get in that game, I showcased them one time. In Meta, true. Yeah, you know, so it creates this really cool thing, because in a way it's like foreshadowing stuff, and it also makes you think and theorize, you know, what's going to happen in the next game. Normally on Tuesdays I do 2 streams that is split by a break, but today I only really feel like doing 1 stream, so I'll be streaming for a little bit longer. I'm hoping to get through the next 2 Grease levels, but by the way I've been going with this level, might be up in the air. But we'll see. In Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync, they removed the ship battle requirement and put it on a vendor. Ah, I see. I mean, that's definitely fair enough then. Okay, so that's that level done. In order to have the 1996 character model, I need to do replay levels. So next up we have Midas's Palace. I'll tell you, what's my favourite Tomb Raider game? It's still actually Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, which was the 4th one that they did. It came out in 1999, the same year as one of my favourite movies, The Mummy. So there was like a double whammy of stories set in Egypt in the Tomb Raider game and also the Mummy movie. So that was good sort of like timing. and it was one of my early Tomb Raider games as well. Like, it was the first one I played, but it was the first Tomb Raider game I also bought as well. So yeah, I'd have to say that one still is. Shin, yours is the reboot trilogy? Oh, that's fair enough, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that trilogy as well. I mean, it does have its flaws and stuff, but I'm not as sort of like anti-Survivor trilogy as some fans might be, which is understandable, don't get me wrong. It's just how things go. But personally, I think that there's a lot in them that is actually, really good and still fits Lara. Just kill me. Alright. This time, we'll have Lara actually jump up onto some things. Hehe. That's payback time. No, you can't get me. I'm the queen of the castle, you know, the dirty rascal. The lyrics make more sense saying queen since I'm playing as Lara. Shin, thank you very much for redeeming the Rest in Peace Lara. You'd like it to be to the statue? We definitely can do that, for sure. What I'll do is trigger a checkpoint. Okay, Shin, so let's have Lara turn to gold. Gold! Thank you, Shin, for redeeming the Rest in Peace Lara. Altair, one game have played and love, but going to start from 1 in the future for Platinum. Oh yeah, Altair, so that would be the reboot trilogy, is it? Or you're going to be doing the remastered version? And Mita, how do you do that? So with that statue, you have to actually get these lead bars and put them on there to make them gold ones. And if you step on it, Lara gets turned to gold. That was also in the original game as well. And in this game, you can actually unlock the gold Lara character model to play as well. Me too. Oh, cool, you have to try it. Oh yeah, dude. It's definitely very inventive too. It's cool that they made it that way. They could have easily just made it that it was only the lead bars that got turned into gold, but it was a good idea to do that. Because some players might have thought that you had to step on the hand to trigger a door or something. Stranger Red, that was cool, never knew about it. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's always cool to find out new stuff. I mean, it might not be like, new to everyone, but there's definitely games where you can come across something that you might not have come across before. Red Dead Redemption 2 has a lot of that for me, where I'm like, hang on, I've played this game for years since it came out, and I've never heard that before. Altair only have PS5, so go see which one you can play on. Oh, nice, Altair. That's the thing too with like those games. There's so many different like trophies as well. But that's cool that you want to platinum them. In Meta, you want to see how you'll get that skull. The time challenge was so annoying. Oh yeah, dude. Is that like a relic or something? Because on this playthrough, on this save file, I think I've gotten all the collectibles before. Because I've noticed that when it has the secret sound, there's no secret, like there's no item there. Hey there, Ifriet. Hope things are going well. Doing some more Tomb Raider anniversary. How's things? fuck, I didn't mean to stand on top of it. Bloody hell. Plus, in the original game, you actually press interact for Lara to actually put the lead bar on there. In Meter, it was the one that turns the lead bars into gold ones. Oh yeah, because you had all the flames and that too, wasn't it? Ifriet, random, but did you ever play Doom the Dark Ages? Not as yet, Ifriet. I definitely would like to though. I still need to play through Doom Eternal as well. But I've played through Doom 2016 before, in that trilogy that they've done now. But not Eternal and Dark Ages. Hey there, Lizzie. Good evening. Hope things are going well. Hey there, Sona. Welcome. How's things? Lizzie, what the heck was that? Whoops. Oh, it's a gorilla. Yeah, it's a gorilla. Yep. I like to call her. I like to say it's Donkey Kong. Lara versus Donkey Kong. Yeah, me too. That was so funny. It was like a brain fart. It's like, this is the remake Rod you're playing, not the original. Altair, gold, give it to me. Oh yeah, Altair. Like, I definitely wouldn't say no to gold, that's for sure. In Meta, or do you not need that one? It was the room with the fires. Oh yeah, so with the skull and that was probably like one of the relics and stuff for like collectibles and things. But yeah, with the lead bars, I can't. I think it's just basically like at the top of that final sort of column with the fires and stuff. Yeah, me too. Yeah, you can definitely skip getting that item if you want to, and just keep on going to get the lead bar that's in the room there. But yeah, that section is very annoying. In Meta, damn, you're almost losing it trying to get it because you thought you needed it as part of the story. Oh yeah, dude, I don't blame you for thinking that though. That's one of the things too with that level, or that part of the level. You got so many things happening, so many fires to dodge, and you've got all the circular motion of stuff too. It's like sometimes too, like it'll lead you onto the path where it's towards a secret, but it makes you think there's actually something that you need to do. Story progression. For this part, we need to use the grapple on these to make this pillar become unstable. So the grapple was introduced in Tomb Raider Legend, which came out in 2006, and they incorporated it into this remake of Tomb Raider 1, which is also a prequel to Legend, and carried it through in Underworld. And that new remake that was announced, Legacy of Atlantis, that will also include the grapple. So it'll be the first time the grapple has appeared in a Tomb Raider game since Tomb Raider Underworld in 2008, which by 2028 will be celebrating its 20th anniversary. I will be doing the Croft Manor as well as part of this playthrough, but I'm going to do that as the final thing. In Meta, thanks for letting you know. Now you can return to the game and continue with the main objective. That's all good in Meta. Yeah, that'd be a relief too as well, after spending so much time getting frustrated as well. Because that level's frustrating enough, not even worrying about the secret, let alone trying to get it as well. Oops. I turned Lara around that way. I'm supposed to do the camera movement first. Come on, game, seriously? Although I suppose I should be thankful that that's where Lara landed, and not all the way down the bottom. But still, kind of annoying. There we go, that's better. I don't know what I did differently before for it not to work. Okay, so we need to use the grapple to get across to the next part. And good one, Lara, for not grabbing, even though I was holding down the grab button. Hey there, Mr. Gote. I'm doing good, thank you. Things are going well. How's your day going today? Mr. Gote, thank you very much for the 260 stream streak. That is excellent. Really appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Now this is going to be fun, considering in this playthrough I can't fast shimmy or fast climb. And I've got to reposition the camera first before moving Lara in that direction. Can't just move her right. Have to move the camera first and then move up to make her turn right. May as well just die. Nice one, Ryu. Toasty! Hey there, Wicked. I hope things are going well. Dang, speedrunning this room for a secret was annoying as hell. Oh yeah, if you want to get all the secrets in the game. Having to essentially speedrun this level. Not fun. We're gonna die here, but that's okay. As part of the challenge, we also can't fast swim. in some ways, this challenge, it's like taking a game like Super Mario Brothers and trying to do a stealth challenge. It's where there's a lot of stuff that you have to sort of like add. But I mean, in a way, you could do like with the really old Mario games, you could do a stealth challenge where the idea is that when the Koopas, for example, are facing the direction that Mario is actually in the line of sight of them, you have to be above them or below them. And then when they turn away, that's when you can jump on the same level as them and then move and then jump on them, you know. So you could actually do a stealth challenge with the first Super Mario Brothers game in a way. You wouldn't be able to do it the whole for every enemy, but yeah. So I couldn't fast shimmy, which means taking a lot of damage there, but that's why saving health kits sometimes when I can, that is, but when I really, really need it. Alright, so we do the next level. In order to have the outfits that I unlocked, I need to reuse my previous save file where I've already unlocked all the outfits, so I can have Lara in the classic character model. Okay, so we have one more grease level now.
Don't worry, Lara. The water is quite refreshing.
So I can use the grapple in these scenarios. If there's any scenarios though in this playthrough where I can get past something without using the grapple, then I have to go without using it, because in the older games than this one, Lara didn't have the grapple yet. But so far there hasn't been actually no, I think there's been one instance where I haven't had to use the grapple. It was when using the grapple to, like, I had to use the grapple to pull a crate off of something because I couldn't reach it by jumping up on top of it. So I was able to do that with the grapple. But then there's this slope that you need to put the crate onto, and it can slide back down, and so I managed to maneuver that without using the grapple. So there's been one instance where I haven't had to use the grapple for something so far. whoops, habit with the crates in this game normally can spin them around, but in this challenge I have to operate them like you would in the older games. For my annual playthrough of Tomb Raider 1, I did a complex jump challenge where basically Lara couldn't be standing square with something and jump forward towards it. She had to actually be on an angle and jump at it that way. Or if she could make the distance, jump up on an angle on top of blocks. Then in Tomb Raider 2, I did a leapfrog challenge where Lara, to move, wasn't able to run or walk or do rolls except underwater. Could do a roll underwater because that didn't give any advantage. That was like worthy of being a rule of not to be able to do. And Tomb Raider 3, I wanted to relax a bit, so it was just like a stylish playthrough where I just did all the fancy acrobatic stuff as I went through that Lara could do. And then for the last Revelation I decided to do a swan dive challenge. And then from Tomb Raider Chronicles it was a sprint challenge. And then for Angel of Darkness recently it was a brawl challenge using the punching and kicking for human enemies. And so now this playthrough, Tomb Raider Anniversary, and then I'll be doing Legend, Underworld, 2013, Rise and then Shadow. well, that was tricky because I had to try and emulate the older game style of movement. It meant that I couldn't just basically use the controls in a normal way to do that. So I thought, what if I do the hold the weapons out, which forces Lara into a mode where I can have her do a backflip more controlled, but then exit out of the exit out of the aiming to then do the jump, to then remember to actually press the grab because I've got manual grab activated instead of auto as well. So that worked out better than I expected. For this next part where we have to move what is essentially a raft now, I am allowed to use the grapple for that. Strangerette, was there a bear jump scare in the 1 or 2nd level of this game? Hope you make it to the rest of the Tomb Raider series. Stream's Underworld was so tricky. Oh yeah, Underworld. I really hate how the camera moves automatically during moments where you really want it to just stay where you've put it. Especially when there's jumps that are tricky that you want to do. There's also rope swings where you want to get the positioning correct and the momentum, and then potentially by the time you're ready to do the jump the camera moves on you, things like that. And also it was cool to be able to shoot individual enemies with the dual pistols instead of having both used on the one enemy at the same time. To be able to do multiple at once was a good idea. However, I feel like they needed to move the camera back further from Lara in those moments so that when she actually switches to the enemies that are really far to her left or right, the camera doesn't then jump all over the place, because some enemies are really small and only take one hit, and if you've got heaps of them flying around, then Lara is aiming very haphazardly all over the place, and the camera's moving left, right, up, down, up, left, left, right, and it's very, disorienting. So if they do a remaster of Underworld, if they could somehow, if it's possible, pull the camera back wider in those moments so that Lara can still move her hands in each direction as she's shooting to cover each enemy, but the camera stays still so that it's a wider view so you can see it all happening at once instead of it jumping around. But yeah, with the jump scare for the bear, there definitely is, yeah. They sort of like make a lot of the enemies pop out more. Like the animal was waiting around the corner and was like, listening, and then was like, right, I'm gonna jump out now. Stranger Ret, you discovered rage quitting from that game every time you want to climb or jump. There's a mini prayer under your breath. Oh, absolutely. And also, too, sometimes you think to yourself, I'm going to make this jump. I don't need to save. And then the game's like, oh really? Are you sure about that? And then you make the jump, and then you don't make it because you miscalculated. And then you're like, shit, where did I save last? How much ground do I need to redo again? what I just did, I didn't need to do. So I'm gonna have Lara die on purpose. I already had it the way I needed it before. The water level, that is, which in turn had the raft in the position I actually needed it in. Having to do the challenge rules has discombobulated my my brain. There was a playthrough of Tomb Raider 1 that I did with the remastered graphics that involved very sort of like tricky aspects, because I essentially took the up, down, left and right D-pad buttons, which made Lara move forward, turn left, turn right and jump back respectively, and I swapped them with the buttons that normally have Lara pull her weapons out, do a roll, interact with things and jump. So up became pull weapons out, left became do the jump, and then X became grab, and then then down became down became grab, and then right became roll, and then triangle became up, and then square became turn left, circle became turn right, and X became step back. Now let me tell you, that was definitely very confusing to navigate through a lot of the stuff in that game with the controls turned around like that. But I wanted to do something like that with the controller that I could actually show was being adhered to, because obviously being a streamer that doesn't have a camera or even have like on-screen prompts showing what buttons I'm pressing, if I was to do a playthrough where I had the controller upside down, no one would know if I was actually holding it upside down. So I wanted to have a challenge where I could just show in the button mapping screen that I had actually changed the buttons around. In Meta, thank you very much, dude, for the 3 months, 20 days, and 12 hours of watch time. Excellent, thank you for that. Because I can't do the adrenaline dodge move, it's going to be very tricky with this boss fight coming up. The T-Rex fight took me a long time. I had to find a sweet spot where the T-Rex wouldn't be able to hit Lara with its tail swipe or with its chomping. Not being able to use the adrenaline dodge meant that I couldn't have the T-Rex ram into stuff to do damage that way, which does more damage. So I had to do the bullet sponge approach. Got there in the end. So who knows what we'll have to do with this boss fight, but let's find out.
Here lies the God King Tihocan, one of the Triumvirate, keepers of the 3 pieces of the Scion, leader of the Chosen after the great betrayal caused Atlantis to be lost beneath the waves.
You see, instincts can be expensive, mademoiselle. Yours are going to cost you both pieces of the Scion.
That's not a price I'm prepared to pay.
Don't be absurd. No job is worth dying for.
Yes, it is.
On second thought, you have it. Bonne chance.
Okay, so for this boss fight I will need to use the grapple. Or maybe I won't have to, hang on. Alright, so unlike the T-Rex fight, when I get them aggroed, in the T-Rex fight when the T-Rex is aggroed, shooting at it while it's charging at you when it's open for adrenaline dodge. If you just keep on shooting at it, it will take damage still, but very, very incrementally. Whereas these enemies, when they rage at you, continually shooting at them doesn't actually do any damage at all. So I think for this boss fight we're going to have to make an exception to not use adrenaline dodge, because I need to get them to get rid of their shields, and the only way to do that is to do adrenaline dodge to open them up for being able to take their shields with the grapple. But I want to test something first. Okay, so you can't use the grapple on them. By making them do that. Let's test it again before I confirm that I need to do the adrenaline dodge. Okay, aggro. I can throw the grapple and it goes towards the ring on the shield, but it won't stick to it. Alright, so I need to make an exception for the adrenaline dodge, but I need to think of a way to make it so it's not as OP. Alright, what I'll do is make it that I have to actually use the dual pistols. I can't use any more powerful weapons. Alright, so the exceptions are this. I can do adrenaline dodge, I can use the grapple to get rid of the shield, and when I'm doing damage to the enemy, when they're vulnerable, I can only do it with the dual pistols. So I'll just die and then start again. If there's one thing you can't stand in games, it's QTEs. They definitely can be tricky. I don't mind them if they're the same combination every time, but when they start to randomize them, that can be a bit of a problem. Lizzie, they still attack him anyway. That is true for Pierre. He still gets killed. Okay, so we can do this. Then adrenaline dodge. Well, can't right now because I didn't charge at Lara. Okay, adrenaline dodge. Shoot. Then steal. There we go. Alright, so I had to make an exception for that. I've got to be careful too, because when Lara is shooting, I don't have to stick to the movement restrictions with moving the camera first to the different direction. But I do have to worry about that when I'm actually not shooting at the same time. Alright, since they're frozen, but the compromise is I have to use the dual pistols, I can't use a more powerful weapon. Okay, can use adrenaline dodge for that. Because you do need to get rid of their shield off them. To then deflect their frozen thing. To then do damage. Alright, so I've had to make some compromises there, but I think having to use the dual pistols and not using anything power kind of balances it out a bit. Alright, one more to go. Sometimes switching which finger I use to pull the trigger is helpful. Use the ring finger. Alright, we heal. Have to heal like that. Grab, and then there we go.
The power of the Scion. In betraying your fellow kings, you have broken the sacred triumvirate of Atlantis. You have maimed Qualopec, your own brother.
I am still here, wretch. Tiokan has ended your treachery. But it is my face you will see in your nightmares.
What have you to say for yourself?
I think one of them was Alistair Duncan. If anyone's played the God of War games, he's Mimir. But I first saw him in a movie called Split Second, which is basically a little bit of a rip-off of the movie Predator. Except the difference is, the victims of this creature, it actually creates a psychic link with any victim that it didn't kill, but it scratched or, you know, etc. Alrighty then, so we've done Peru Mountain Cave, City of Vilcabamba, the Lost Valley, Tomb of Qualopec. We've done Greece, St. Francis Folly, the Colosseum, Midas's Palace, and Tomb of Tihocan. So we've got Egypt, Temple of Khamun, Obelisk of Khamun, Sanctuary of the Scion, and then we've got Lost Island, Natla's Mines, Lost Island, the Great Pyramid, and then Lost Island, the Final Conflict. So we've got 6 levels left in the playthrough. Let me see what time it is for me. Lizzie, new emote. Yeah, that's the one based on Lara Croft on the cover of Tomb Raider Anniversary. I've also got one for Legend and Underworld. But the funny thing is, like, Legend is such a short game that I usually only have one stream that I need to finish it, so the emote only stays active for one stream. But while I'm doing the trilogy of Anniversary, Legend and Underworld, I might keep them all active. Normally on Tuesdays I would take a break and then come back with another stream, but I just don't feel like doing 2 streams today. I just wanted to do the one, and to be honest, I'd rather end the stream here and only have 6 levels left, because I could knock those 6 levels out in tomorrow's stream for my Wednesday. So I think I'll do that. But yeah, we've got the 3 Egypt levels next, and we've got the 3 final levels in the Lost Island as well. Thank you everyone for watching the stream. I really appreciate it. Before I end, I'm going to give some shout outs to some streamers that I like to recommend. If you see me streaming this game again, then that means it's my Wednesday stream of it. I might start Tomb Raider Legend. I don't know if I will or not, but if you see me streaming that, then it just means I finished this game. I hope that everyone has a good one. My current schedule: Monday Tuesday and Wednesdays is Tomb Raider, until I finish the marathon, with Shadow of the Tomb Raider being the last game I'm doing. And Thursdays through to Sundays at the moment is Assassin's Creed. Currently doing Origins. Including Origins, I've got Odyssey, then Valhalla, and then Mirage is the final one I'm doing. I won't be doing Assassin's Creed Shadows or the Black Flag remake, so they're the only Assassin's Creed games I've got left as well. But here's some shout outs. Oh yeah, Lizzie, that's no problem at all for the stream. That's okay. Would like to highly recommend people check out Altair, who's doing Final Fantasy VII Remake. In Meta is doing a first-time playthrough of Alan Wake 2. Crocodiles is doing a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2, doing a 100% checklist playthrough. Lucinda has been doing the remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Shin the Ninja Penguin has been playing some Starfield. Shillerlock is doing Spider-Man Remastered, and Zamaxi for the first time is playing Resident Evil 2, the remake. Definitely recommend checking out those channels if you haven't before. Thank you once again everyone for watching the stream. The next stream you'll see from me will be this again, and if you do, then that's my Wednesday stream of it. Until next time, hope everyone has a good one.